Good afternoon. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Barbara Cloutier, and I have the distinct pleasure of leading the premier division in the Chem Biodefense S&T program with the best team of professionals in the industry. And all my CBS folks out there, I'd like you to stand up and remain standing just for a second. Oh yeah. Unlike some of my fellow divisions, very few entities outside the DoD do what we do. We're excited to spend this week developing new relationships and expanding our ability to produce new options for our warfighters. That's the team you need to go to when you have your disruptive ideas. Bring them to them and they'll put them into existence. Our mission is to protect the warfighter by developing and transitioning novel technologies to address current and emerging chemical and biological threats. CBS is fully nested into the integrated early warning, integrated layered defense, and the prepare for surprise pillars of the CB S&T mission. We're divided into two teams, threat agent science and chemical medical countermeasures. Threat agent science validates the risks identified by collected intelligence, and that validated threat data drives the entire CB enterprise, from development to operational planning, risk mitigation, and policy change for all of our divisions and the rest of the CB enterprise. Definitely the tip of the spear. Our chemical countermeasures team develops prophylactic and treatment options for both new and existing chemical threats. I will start with the chemical countermeasures team. We work from the identification of a new threat through discovery and preclinical trials to phase 1 clinical trials, and then we hand off to an advanced developer. Our job is to de-risk advanced development, discover novel platforms, and remove the advantage for our enemies that chemical warfare produces. We are looking to expand our options and partners at every one of the developmental phases in our purview. This team works in the integrated layered defense continuum as depicted in the upper left-hand corner of the slide, from preparation to treatment and recovery. We divide our work into 6 thrust areas along that continuum and 2 supporting elements, and I will briefly describe each. Nerve agent prophylaxis currently contains 2 programs, ACEs and IMPACT. These programs are searching for additional catalytic scavengers in the first and novel prophylactic compounds in the second that can approach broad spectrum coverage from traditional chemical agents to pharmaceutical-based agents to new chemical threats, all in one chemical countermeasure. Can you find it? Neuroprotection focuses on increasing quality of life and return to full function should the need for chemical exposure treatment occur. Investigating compounds used in other fields of medicine and converting them for use in the chemical warfare realm, or producing novel compounds that will change the paradigm from merely surviving following a chemical exposure to preservation of neuronal structure. Crowd Therapeutics is searching to fill the gaps that our currently deployed decon solution, RSDL, leaves in ocular, wound, and whole body decon. Nerve agent therapeutic thrust area includes INATs, where the goal is to provide rapid treatment to counter effects from exposure to chemical threats, ensure protection of the central nervous system against organophosphorus agents, and develop broad-spectrum cholinesterase reactivators. Other CWA therapeutics covers just what it says there on the slide, mustard and cyanide treatment work. We still haven't resolved those. Our robust pharmaceutical-based agent thrust area currently spans the entire spectrum of this newer threat, seeking to repurpose opioid receptor antagonists, develop non-antagonist therapeutics against opioid-based chemical threats, and expand non-opioid countermeasure development for novel pharmaceutical agents. Since we sit in a space where few are doing work in chemical warfare agent countermeasures, we also have 2 enabling thrust areas. We use both our enabling science and our basic research to utilize novel technology like artificial intelligence and multifunctional delivery platforms, explore compounds with longer duration of action for next generation therapeutic or prophylaxis, establish human equivalent doses of from animal models and extrapolate them to human dose requirements, to explore other approved drugs or compounds with existing data to improve upon existing treatments or to treat new and emerging threats, and of course to capitalize on the data produced by our threat agent science team. Our threat agent science team deals with both chemical and biological threats. They translate intelligence community or IC threat brief information into research. With a two-way communication with IC, as results are obtained, we enable the refinement of that brief. Information produced is used by the IC and the larger ChemBio enterprise to influence capability development, doctrine, and every other aspect of our integrated layered defense, integrated early warning, and preparation for surprise activities. Leading the DoD science and technology programs to anticipate, defend, and safeguard against chemical and biological threats for the warfighter and the nation. In Dr. Hand's words, preparing for the unthinkable. Threat agent science makes our enterprise agile and adaptable. This team divides its work into 5 thrust areas, with 1 enabling thrust area in basic research. Technical surprise uses horizon scanning studies and technical advanced impact studies to find out what tech advances do we really need to run through our evaluation assessment plan. It's fed by both the IC and our own highly intelligent team's monitoring. First Look evaluates the synthesis and characterization of non-traditional agents, pharmaceutical-based agents, and emerging biological threats. Can we make it? What does it look, feel, and behave like? And is it even toxic to people? The environmental thrust response area provides the aerosol, dissemination, and atmospheric studies, the molecular fate and persistence in the environment information, and particle resuspension and re-aerosolization. What does it behave like in the environment? Can we get rid of it? Does it pose a long-term health hazard, or does it degrade? Some of the information that you heard John Hannon talk about that he's put into the HPAC and the other evaluating information so that we can provide good threat assessments and movement and changes to people's operational requirements on the battlefield. Our basic research focuses on aerosol science, biosurvivability, and systems biology of potential threats. These are the leads of my teams. CBS is excited to present details of several of our thrust areas this week as we endeavor to find new partners to help us speed up the production of options to protect those warfighters that we were all talking about all day today. The added advantage in our specialty area for us and for our partners is the dual utility of our work with the first responders. We look forward to this week advancing science and technology and developing new relationships so that we can disrupt the enemies that try and attack us. Thank you.